welcome back to another video. Today's is a little bit different than our normal studio vlogs. I wanted to spice things up a bit, so today's video is a Q&A/draw with me. So I'm going to be working on this doodle for Instagram while we chat, and I'm just going to be answering some of your questions that you have about me, my life, my shop, Clementine the cat, anything that you asked me. I put a little question box on Instagram, I think like 2 weeks ago, and I'm just now getting around to making this video and answering your questions. But without further ado, let's get into what you guys want to know. Also, Clemmie just jumped up here on the bed with me while I'm recording this voiceover, so if you hear any little meows, that will be Clemmie in the back. Okie dokie, our first question says, is it difficult to balance school and a small business? To this, I would answer yes and no, mostly yes though. It's something that I've definitely had to learn as I've gone forward with my business, but when I first started my shop, it was when I was doing school almost entirely on Zoom, my senior year of high school, and so it was very easy to balance school and my shop because I was at home all the time, and not gonna lie, I did do a lot of shop stuff while I was in Zoom class, so I would be packing orders while listening to a lecture or doing a drawing on my iPad during class, so that made it kind of cushy, I guess, for me, and I didn't really get like the real world experience of needing to know how to balance school and work. So this past year was my first year at university, and it was definitely a big learning curve, learning how to balance work and school. I would come home most weekends to do Etsy orders and draw new things, but during the week at school, I found myself feeling pretty tired after classes and not in a super creative mood to draw new posts or anything. So it was hard. I think I've gotten into a really good groove this summer balancing a job and Etsy, so I want to take some of those habits into the school year and try and keep staying consistent, balancing out Etsy work and school work. Our next question asks, what is your favorite and least favorite sticker you have ever made? This is an awesome question, and I love it because it's not something I've ever thought about before. I would say that my favorite sticker I've ever made, currently, it changes, but it's usually whatever something in the new launch is. I really love the Coffee Girl sticker. I'll put little pictures up for you guys to see what I'm talking about. I love the Coffee Girl sticker. I love the Be Kind to the Earth sticker, and those are your guys' two favorites as well, based on what's been selling. Any stickers to do with plants. I'm just naming all my stickers right now. In terms of least favorite stickers, a lot of my old designs, looking back, I don't love now, but in the moment I did love them, and I wasn't as good as I am now in terms of using Procreate. I just didn't know really very many of the features, so I don't want to hate on my old self who didn't even know what she was doing yet. Okay, though I will say, at the very beginning of my shop, before I really found my niche and my groove, I was making the most random stickers ever. I had no consistency. I was literally just drawing and printing whatever the heck came to my mind, and no one was buying these random things. But I decided to do a series of French fruits. It sounds random, and it was random. I had an apple with a little beret on, and then a little orange with red lipstick and a pearl necklace. It was so obscure. No one on planet Earth is going to be searching through Etsy looking for French fruits. But I just thought that was the cutest idea. So maybe if there's ever a French fruit trend going around, I can bring those bad boys back. But as of right now, I'd say it was a pack of stickers. So I would say that's my least favorite because it was so random, and just little me 2 years ago had no idea what she was doing. So probably those. Next, we have advice for high school seniors. This is hard for me to offer advice on because, as I mentioned earlier, my entire senior year of high school was on Zoom until like the very end, around April or May, when we started to have some in-person events again. I could do like hybrid school, so I did that, and then we had like a little prom, but like we weren't allowed to get close to each other. We weren't allowed to do dancing. We had to kind of like keep our masks on most of the time and stay a distance from each other. So it was kind of a very weird prom. But I would say I know a big part of the high school senior process is choosing a college, and I would say to go with where you feel led. I chose a school that I knew wasn't maybe the most prestigious school and that most of the people at my high school wouldn't have heard of, but it is one of the best choices I've made because I have been thriving. I've been so happy, and I knew in my heart that I was going to love the small school environment, and I didn't pressure myself to pick somewhere more prestigious, more renowned in a big city if I knew that's not what I wanted. And so, throughout my senior year, as people were doing like college acceptance posts on Instagram or whatever, I think I felt a little bit anxious, like, oh my gosh, all these people are going to like these huge schools. Like I had a friend go to Yale, lots of friends at UCLA, and I was just, kind of doubting myself a little bit. I was confident in my choice, but at the same time, I was like, what if I'm having too low of expectations and like I'm not gonna go to this crazy smart school? But I now, a year in, have never felt more content with my decision. I felt like God told me where I needed to be, and the friends I have made are so wonderful. And so I encourage you to do the same. If you're studying something that you want to study at a prestigious school, you are awesome, and I really encourage you to do that. But I also want to encourage you that if you feel like a big city prestigious school is not for you, don't feel pressured to go somewhere like that if all of your friends are, and maybe do a little more research and find somewhere that fits your personality more. And I can't promise on behalf of everyone, but in my experience, that really did change the game once I started viewing it as my choice and not something that I need to worry about what anyone else thinks about. I'm realizing I'm kind of rambling in my answers to these questions, so we're going to kind of rapid fire through the next few. Someone asked, what are your favorite songs or artists at the moment? You guys know I always love Taylor Swift. She is always my queen. Taylor is always at the top. Like, my Spotify Unwrapped past 4 years has been Taylor at the top. But lately, I am loving Gracie Abrams. Her album Feels Like is really good. I'm loving 21 Pilots. I used to be in my 21 Pilots era in about 7th grade when I thought I was emo. I wasn't, but like listening to 21 Pilots made me feel kind of emo. Them and like Panic at the Disco are like nostalgia unlocked whenever I listen to them. So for some reason I've been like getting back in that groove lately. I also am very new for some reason to Lana Del Rey. She's been around, but I've never gotten into her music. But I have like 4 or 5 of her songs on my playlists because I'm really in love with her voice lately. It's so beautiful. And that's about it in terms of ones that I'm like obsessed with on repeat lately. What type of genre of books do you like the most? This is a great question. I don't talk about reading a whole lot on my Instagram or on my YouTube. I'm a pretty slow reader. It takes me a while to get through a book, unless it's like an exciting book, because then I will like sit down and blow through the whole thing in an afternoon. But because of how busy I am, I kind of don't always prioritize relaxing and reading, which I need to do more often. I tend to just do more work in the evenings instead of getting in bed and reading. But that's just beside the point. You asked what genre I like. So I love a good thriller, a good mystery, anything that will keep me on my toes. I also love a cute little romance, nothing like spicy, just an innocent, sweet little meet cute with like some summer romance, something along those lines. If it's in Italy, even better. I'm not complaining if it's in Italy or in Europe of any sort. But thrillers, happy little romances. I'm currently reading The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, which is the Hunger Games prequel. I'm enjoying it so far, and I don't typically like dystopian books, but the Hunger Games are like my one exception. Those are some of my favorites, but I've never read any of the other like Divergent or like Maze Runner. I haven't read any of those, but I do love the Hunger Games. So yeah, those are my favorite book genres at the moment. I also like classics every now and then, but I have to be in a certain mindset to be like willing to sit down and read a classic, because it does require more focus and more energy. But like Pride and Prejudice, Little Women, I love those staples of my childhood. Someone asked, how have you seen your art style evolve, and what are your thoughts on it from the past until now? This is a really fun question. I love seeing how my art has evolved. I can tend to be pretty judgmental of my past artwork, but just seeing that I was doing the best that I could and how it's changed up until now has honestly been really encouraging. I really feel like I've finally hit my groove with the art style that I'm doing now. I feel more inspired than I ever have because I'm not trying to copy anyone else's styles. I think for a while before I really found my style and just what I like to do with art and what I'm good at, I was kind of looking at inspiration and just drawing a lot from other people and not really using myself as a source of inspiration. But now that I'm kind of just doing whatever the heck I want, I love my art so much more, and I can tell that you guys do too, because it's different and it's more true to myself. So I don't know if that answers your question, but I do still love looking at all my old posts. I haven't archived them or anything, so if you scroll deep enough in my Instagram, you will see too what my art used to look like and what it looks like now. All right, we only have time for about one more question, so we're gonna end on a good one. This says, how long do you see yourself staying with Etsy? This is a controversial question because if you're a real one and you saw my stories maybe 6 months ago, you would know that I teased a website for a while and that never ended up happening because I looked deeper into my Etsy analytics and realized Etsy was bringing in most of my orders and I wasn't getting as many through Instagram. And so I decided to just stick with Etsy for a little while longer because they are really helpful in bringing in customers and orders. So as of right now, I see myself staying with Etsy for a while. Maybe I'll do my own website plus Etsy at some point and then slowly fade into just my own website. But as of right now, I'm just with Etsy and I will be for a while to come. So thank you guys so much for asking questions. I'm so sorry if I wasn't able to get to yours. Maybe I'll do another Q&A part 2 sometime soon. And if you like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe. Come back next Tuesday for a new video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!